The World Cup semi-final match resumed today, and we'll be having the game between France versus Spain in the semi-final. Now, let's talk about these two countries and the last time they have faced each other. In the last 10 meeting between these two countries, they have had 7 victories from the Spanish national team, 2 victories from the France team, and just 1 draw in their last 10 meeting. Recently, in the year 2025, where they met in the semi-final of the Nations League, where Spain won the match 5-4. We saw how that game was about to turn around for the France national team, where Spain was already leading 3 goals ahead, and the France team has to come from behind to have 4 goals, almost aiming to have a draw in that match. The match later ended on 5-4 for the victory of the French national team, where they progressed to the final of the Europe Nations. Now, recently also in the year 2021, where this France versus Spain national team met in the final of that same Europe Nations League, where the France national team won the game 2-1. Now, also in the year 2023, they also met in the semi-final of the Europe Cup, where the Spanish team won that match. Now, let's talk about the game, the semi-final match between the France versus between Spain versus France in this semi-final game of the World Cup. Now, both teams will be going up with the morale and confidence booster that yes, they have gotten to this stage without any fluke, without any help from anybody. They have been coordinated, they have been winning their games, and they will be aiming to go into the final. While the Spanish national team will be aiming to go into their first final since 2010, and the France national team will be aiming to go into their straight third final of the World Cup now, because they have been in the final in 2018, 2022, and they'll be aiming to make it 3 straight final in the World Cup ceremony. Now, on this aspect of the team, both teams will be going with full confidence, and as we have said in the last video, we saw that this Spanish national team, in this stage, they have only considered just 1 goal in the last 6 matches in this World Cup. Compared to the France national team, they have had their own aspect of clean sheet, whereby the France goalkeeper has 4 clean sheets compared to the Spain national team keeper, where he has 6 clean sheets in the World Cup so far. Now, this aspect, both teams will be going confident with their own strength. I think, as we all are aware, the France national team has the best attack in this World Cup so far, whereby the attackers have been clicking, they have been scoring wonderful goals, and one of the attackers is leading as one of the top goal scorers in the World Cup in Kylian Mbappe, followed by Dembele, and also with the assister Olise. While on the aspect of the Spanish national team, in as much as their star man who we just expected, Lamine Yamal, who will be turning 19 in this match, and we'll be expecting that yes, let's see how far this guy will click, because he's one of the top players that more expectation and hope lies on him in this Spanish team, and we're planning to have his second goal in this tournament so far. Now, on the aspect of defense, in as much as the France national team have been scoring goals, their defense has also been fantastic, but the Spain national team will have the higher hand of the defense, whereby they have only considered just 1 goal in the tournament so far. Now, Didier Deschamps has been insistent on the aspect of his team that yes, his teams have been coordinated, they have been winning their matches, and they have been coordinated, especially Kylian Mbappe, who has been leading well, not just as the captain, but also as one of the top players in the World Cup for this French national team. Now, we know on this aspect, these players will be aiming to say, yes, let's make our country proud by going to a straight World Cup final, and also the Spanish national team will be aiming to say yes, let's make it into our second final since 2010. So on this aspect, it's going to be an interesting game between these two teams. As I said before, in the last 10 meetings between these two, there has been 7 victories for the Spanish national team, 2 from the France team, and just 1 draw in the last 10 match. So this game, I'll be seeing a well contested game, in as much as the Spanish team will not be aiming to score more goals compared to the aim of this France team, but what we'll be able to know that once this Spanish team is able to get the first goal, just know that our defense will be able to see them off in the game. But the first national team will put on an attack. And good thing about this two teams is that they have had players coming from the bench to win game for them. Now we see from the Spanish team, whereby in the last 2 games, in the round of 16 and in the quarterfinal, we saw whereby a player came from the bench in Mikel Merino to score the winning goals in these 2 last match, which means that they have had players to come from the bench to win the game. While on the first national team, in as much as they have a best 11, even their second 11 is also fantastic, whereby any player coming from the bench from this France team can also have a very good game to win the match. So let's see how far this semi-final match will be going. But I'll be aiming to see the France in the final. Yeah, this is not just because of partiality. This is not just because it's just on the aspect of the team that I've loved, and I'll be able to see them in the final to retain that trophy which they were not able to win in the 2022 World Cup. While the Spanish fans will be aiming to say yes, their new era begins on this moment. Yes, the Spanish will be planning that their new era begins on this moment by making it into the final. So let's wait to see how this game goes. But as I said before, my prediction, I see the France national team making it to the final. You can also share your thoughts on the game and think who is going to progress into the final of the World Cup.